Hi there, I've decided to start driving for Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Postmates last November on my time off, planning to work from 5 to 15 hours a week. My goal is to earn $10,000 to fund 2 projects I have in mind. In this video, I will show you all my earnings and how many hours and miles it took me to get there. I even set up a bank account with Capital One. No, I am not sponsored by them, but I've been using their service for a while and I can't complain. The reason I've set up this bank account is so it's easier for me to keep track of all my earnings. I do not plan on using this income until I reach the $10,000 goal. I've recently passed $1,000 and I'd like to share my experience and give you some tips and hopefully can help you earn more. My earnings would have been much better, but I had to quarantine myself for a couple of weeks due to the COVID-19 exposure, and I also had to work overtime on my main job during the holiday season. As you can see, so far I've made almost $1,300. $1,167.89 was in 2020. That took me 58 hours and almost 1,284 miles, giving me a little over $20 an hour. Now let's get to the tips. Tip number 1. This is pretty basic but important. Make sure your car is ready, filled up, you have a thermal bag, and your car is clean. Even though for the most part the customer and the restaurant employee might not even see inside of your car, there will be times that they will, and you do not want them to see a mess, as that can get you a bad rating or worse, a lower to no tip. Tip number 2, make sure your apps are on your cell phone homepage with some essential apps like Google Maps. The reason to have Google Maps is that sometimes the delivering app might be a little off, or at nighttime, depending on where you are, it can be impossible to see customer's house number. So you can go to Google Maps, type in the address, and see a picture of the house. I usually do that before leaving the restaurant though, because that will save you time. Another app to have handy is a mileage tracker. Having those on your homepage saves time and money. Tip number 3, track all of your expenses. Who likes to pay tons of money in taxes? No one, right? At least I don't. So tracking your expenses can save you hundreds, actually thousands of dollars. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I drove almost 1,284 miles. In 2020, you can deduct almost 58 cents per mile. From the $1,167.89 that I made, I'll be able to deduct $738.27. That's huge. It didn't cost me over $700 to operate my car. I have a 2008 Ford Focus with over 228,000 miles on it that has been paid off years ago. And a full tank of gas only cost me $20. In this type of business, mileage is probably your biggest tax break, but not the only one. Virtually anything that costs you money to operate the business, you should be able to deduct, like cell phone bills, dash cam, etc. I highly recommend you talk to a CPA agent so you can maximize your earnings. And don't forget, as an independent contractor, you are responsible to pay taxes, so leave from 15 to 30% aside. I've created a savings account with Capital One as well, just for that. Even though I'm leaving 100% of the earnings in the checking account, I am depositing 15% of that amount into the savings account, but I'm getting that money from my regular job, and that is why you see 100% in the checking account. Tip number 4, you are not required to accept all trips. At first, I was accepting virtually everything because I wanted to get the experience and get the hang of it. But even then, I hardly accept anything lower than $4. Usually those aren't worth it. I remember getting a couple of trips that was $2.50 and they're from Hooters. It was different days. And I was like, are you serious? This is ridiculous and an insult. I declined them in a heartbeat. Don't feel bad for declining them. You are providing a premium service. Your time and service is valuable. Tip number 5. This one is probably one of the most important ones, as it will help you to get good to better tips. In this type of job, you want to give great customer service. Keep your customer up to date. When you're at the restaurant and the food isn't ready, let your customer know. Send them a quick message. There has been a couple of times where the restaurant was taking longer than expected, and I was certain the customer would be upset and probably wouldn't give me a good tip, or worse, no tip at all. But I kept them informed, and after everything was said and done, I ended up getting bigger tips than expected. The market or region that you're going to be working on might make a big difference in your earnings, but as long as you give great customer service, I expect you should earn a decent amount. Well, those are my main tips so far. What do you think of those? Do you have one in mind that you'd like to share? Leave a comment below. I have a few more and we'll make another video talking about them. So subscribe and hit the notification button to stay up to date. Hope this video can motivate you and help you earn more. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.